and welcome back to Rank Masters, the only show on the internet where we find ranked list. Nope. Already messed up. Boom. Love it. Every time I start, it doesn't work. I fail. I trip somewhere, and it just ends.
It's like you were on a good trajectory. Like, what happened? Like,
I think I just forgot what the next word was going to be. Like, I try to plan out my sentences, and then I just got to that point in the sentence, and I'm like, oh. We stopped. And I'm like,
plan's over.
Plan's gone. You know how it is. But yeah, welcome. We're the podcast. We're the critics of internet lists. We're the podcast. I said that already, but I want to emphasize we're the only podcast. There are zero other podcasts.
This is an original idea. I don't think I've seen anyone else do this.
No, yeah, I mean, no one's ever just sat in a Discord call with a friend and talked about things before.
Never before has two white guys sat down and decided that their opinions were worth broadcasting.
Never in the history of the universe. No.
I'm so glad that we're original. And
we really are.
We're the only ones who've thought of this idea.
Hey, speaking of originality right now, I've been playing this great new game for YouTube. I've been making a new series on it. It's something I've seen no one else play. It's called Super Mario Wonder.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that anywhere. Like, I don't even think I've heard of that. That's very underground. Like, who's the producer? Like,
I think it's not Masahiro Sakurai. It's some other, name I've never I don't know how far I can keep that going.
Yeah. No, how is it? I heard there's inflation porn.
I mean, Mario games usually have some hints to being horny. I think this is the horniest Mario game I've ever seen in my life.
You're just saying that because there's that vor one.
No. Well, no. Pretty much every Mario game I've seen has had some reference to a penis. Like, they often have a heavy emphasis on blocks in the shape of balls and a pipe in between them. And I'm like, they add a phallic symbol in every Mario game.
Yeah, well, so did Disney.
Yeah, I know. I think it's funny, but I think Wonder might legitimately be the horniest one so far.
The symbolic, what the fuck is it? The symbolic phallus.
What?
I don't know. You're a psychology major, right?
Yes, I am.
Did you ever learn about the symbolic phallus?
No, we didn't talk about that because all the penis things that we talked about were Freud, and no one was comfortable talking about Freud. With good reason. I just punched my microphone. I'm so sorry.
Because I have a friend who is also another psychology major.
You have other psych majors in your life?
I know. There's actually a lot of them.
What a betrayal. Trace, I'm hurt. What the fuck?
There's a weird amount of them, actually. And at least two of you are deer, which makes it worse.
Psychology's interesting. I can't blame them.
But I'm specifically talking about Soba here.
Okay.
Soba is obsessed with Freud and Freudian psychology.
Why?
I don't know. I literally the other day we were on call. Soba and I, he's the person that I rant to a lot. Which is very nice, I guess. But we were on call for 4 hours the other day, and at least an hour of that was talking about the symbolic phallus. Because he wouldn't shut up about it.
Oh my god. Well, maybe that should be our first guest on the show. We should have Soba on the show to talk about the top 10 instances that Disney snuck a penis into their movies or something like that. That would be really fun, actually. Or a naked woman, yeah.
Because it was the rescuers, right? When if you slowed down the frames, one of the windows had a real life naked woman just standing in it.
I think I've heard of it. Again, that's one of the Disney movies I haven't seen. I feel like we talked about that recently.
You've never seen the Rescuers?
You said that last time too, yeah.
That's the Rescuers and the Rescuers Down Under. I really like those movies.
I haven't seen either.
They're not peak cinema or anything. They're just nice movies.
I know about them, and I think I will watch them at some point. It's just I don't have Disney Plus. I have a friend's Disney Plus logged in on my TV, but I don't watch TV on my TV. I watch TV on my phone. Damn it!
You know what I haven't watched yet that I normally watch around my birthday every year?
Oh fuck. What? Over the Garden Wall?
No.
Oh, that seems like an October thing to watch each year, though, right?
No,
yeah.
You're right, but this is my birthday, Seth. Think about what we've watched at least twice during my birthday.
Oh, Surf's Up!
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Definitely not an October vibes movie.
No, not October vibes at all, but it's a good movie. Oh my god, that movie fucks.
I love Surf's. It's an underrated gem.
It really is. It's good.
I love Surf's Up.
I hate a sequel.
Are we gonna get to the list?
I mean, we can if you want to. It's a long ass list. So
I've never seen the sequel of Surf's Up. That's I don't need it to. Surf's Up was as good own contained story. I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Surf's Up is what it is.
Keep it that way. Do not watch the sequel.
I need to watch it. Now I need to watch Scary Godmother.
What?
That's usually what I watch. You never watch Scary Godmother?
I'd never even heard of Scary Godmother. What the fuck is that?
It's this horrible 3D animation from Cartoon Network. It was like a straight to television movie that was like 45 minutes long, so it could fill up an hour time slot on TV.
Yeah, that makes sense. Gotta pump those ads in. And speaking of, here's our spot. No, I'm kidding. We're not sponsored.
I wish we had a sponsor.
We're too indie to be sponsored. Ugh.
Yeah. Remember, if you listen to us, we're cool because we're unpopular.
That's true. People will listen to us. We get like at least 10 listens each episode, you know, and that's more than 8.
At least 20, I think, is the actual number. We're not that indie.
I'm just trying to think what our worst episode was, and I think that was 10. You know, our worst performing. I don't know. I don't care. It was an old topic.
One of the
ones I didn't clickbait well enough, apparently. Oh.
Yeah. One of our best ones was the fucking birds.
That was so funny. But
also the aliens. I love like the people. I love when the people like who want like a regular conspiracy theory like type video click in and they see 2 fucking gay furries talking about this. Dude, and they're like, no research I see. We get
the weirdest comments sometimes, I swear. We need to go.
I love that one.
We need to go through just our like top 10 comments or something. Because a lot of them are
10 comments.
Oh my god, yeah, we've gotten a lot of comments. We've gotten
some on the YouTube Shorts side.
Even outside of the YouTube Shorts side, we've like within the past 7 months, I'm counting at least 25. And that 7 months period started when I said it was the ranch and pepperoni and mac and cheese one with the breakfast foods thing. If you haven't been listening to us for a while, none of this makes sense. It's fine.
I can listen to some old episodes. They're okay. They're decent.
We have one comment from I need to see your balls 1945 saying thank God taxes are optional. So
that's from YouTube Shorts. I know that.
That's one of the shorts, yes.
But oh my god, that name.
It's a good name. It's a great shout out to I need to see your balls 1945. Phenomenal handle.
I started watching Brittany Broski, and she did this thing called like Town Hall. It was like a Q&A, but it was like a Q&A that wasn't like a normal Q&A because they were talking about Broski Nation or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like
you're still unlocked.
I'm trying to think because they changed their name. Instead of it being like something winner, it was something wiener. And then their profile picture was just like a picture of the word balls.
I love it. I love it.
And I was like, that's great. That's really great.
It's fun.
This episode's for the girls and the gays only. If you are not a girl or gay, get out.
I mean, I guess this episode in particular is also for the parents. If you knew, I know, right? What a weird list of girls, gays, and parents, right? But no, this list. So you picked a Watch Mojo list last time. I picked a Watch Mojo list this time, and we need to go back and find more lists that aren't Watch Mojo. But this time,
they're an infinite resource of lists.
I stumbled into this video. I actually watched the video for this one instead of just reading the list. This is the top 20 most dangerous toys ever made. And actually, the amount of these I had as a kid, I'm surprised I'm alive, actually.
Well, yeah. I'm also surprised I'm alive, but that's because I was a stupid kid.
I mean, I was also
smart as I was a stupid kid.
Yeah. But like after watching that video, I'm like, holy shit, a lot of these were genuinely dangerous. So I'd be happy to talk through some of these. And I want to introduce, I wanted to play a little game with this one where I say what the toy is, and then kind of like, if you aren't familiar with that toy, I describe it a little bit. And then I want you to guess why it's so dangerous.
Why it was dangerous? Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay.
See, I wanted to gamify this because you love games, and
I love games.
I already have the knowledge of this list. This isn't like new for me.
I had a friend come over to my house, and you know what I made them watch?
What?
Jeopardy.
Good. Oh my fucking. So I set up our living room recently with like a big old TV stand and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Since then, I've already played Jeopardy for the Wii like 3 times with my friends.
Oh my god,
it's so fun.
I need to come over so I can play Jeopardy
so
with the Wii.
Fun. It's I love the miscellaneous Wii trivia board game bullshit. It's so fun. Shovelware.
It's so good.
It really is. Anywho,
so good.
Number 12 on our list isn't a Wii shovelware. It's a Polly Pocket. Trace, do you know what Polly Pocket is?
Choking hazard.
No.
Oh, really? I was like, I wanted to chew on those fucking shoes. Wait. That sentence out of context.
Trace, the foot hater, wanted to chew on the Polly Pocket shoes. Interesting.
Okay, so describe what Polly Pocket is for the people who don't know.
So Polly Pockets, they're kind of like mini Barbies. Kind of like they get... It's a pocket-sized dollhouse, and you get like tiny little characters, and you could do like a makeup. You could do a ton of weird shit. And they also had like a line of toys that were specific for boys called Mighty Max. I hate gendered toys and all that jazz. Yeah, I know. We always got the Polly Pockets because we're the girls and the gays, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, like, sorry, I played with Barbie, all right? I was cool.
You are right that they were a choking hazard. They were small things of plastic, but that was not why they made this list. Why do you think they made this list?
Okay, if it's not a choking hazard, because it's like, I constantly wanted to chew on like the little rubber clothing that they had for Polly Pockets because like the texture looked so amazing.
So you're getting closer. It was something to do with the clothing and something to do with eating.
God, was it toxic?
No, it wasn't toxic.
Oh my! Just tell me now, because I don't.
I'm gonna read the Watch Mojo thing and see.
Okay,
I want you to pick it up exactly where the danger part is, because it says these toys were already dangerous enough to warrant teaching your kid the Heimlich maneuver, but the Polly Pocket magnetic play sets with their magnetic clothing warranted a full recall in 2006.
Oh right.
You can eat one thing of magnetic clothing. But if you ate a second magnet, your stomach was done.
Well, yeah, because that's.
I hate joking about this, but like legitimately,
that's so bad.
The magnets would often fall off, and like it. Oh, like you can have one in your entire life.
You can have one magnet as a treat. That's it.
If you have another one, you're done. Game over.
Another one, you're dead. But one as a treat? Okay.
I just thought that I'm like, the fact that they're starting off with magnets that would like rip your digestive system up is like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, well, like something. Okay, do you know what a cow magnet is?
No. What's special about a cow magnet? You just like hold it out. You put them in a cow.
It attracts the cows to you.
No, hold on, Trace. You put them in a cow?
I cannot remember how they're used. I have not used a cow magnet in forever.
No, I need to look this up. What the fuck is a cow magnet?
Like, because I remember it's for when, like your cow has digested something magnetic inside of them, and it's causing them problems, and you have to find a way to get it out.
Oh my god!
What did you discover? Because I can't remember exactly how they're used now.
They are designed to prevent what's called hardware disease from when they eat like computer shit, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What the?
Well, not computer shit, just something magnetic.
Just miscellaneous metal stuff. Oh my god! I'm amazed by this. So you legitimately, you put the magnet in the cow. You feed the magnet to each calf at branding time. It settles in the rumen or reticulum and remains there for the life of the animal.
Mm-hmm.
The magnet is administered after fasting cow for 18 hours. Holy shit. Okay. And then it just magnetizes any magnetic objects to prevent them from being lodged in the animal's tissue. What the fuck? That's wild to me. Okay, damn. So I guess you can't eat one magnet in your life.
You can eat one magnet.
You can eat one magnet.
And sometimes it may be helpful if you're a cow.
All right, I'm going to go feed all my Polly Pockets to the cows.
Do you remember, like, the magnets there'd be 2 of them, and you'd throw them up, and they'd go...
Oh my god, yes, I do. Those were so fun. Those were very silly.
So, that was a cow magnet. Yeah. So like they're like pill-shaped magnets, and you could do that exact same thing with cow magnets. And I swear to God, that's probably where they got the idea for those magnets.
Oh, that makes
sense. Some country-ass kid was like,
he's
hey,
playing
what are
with
those
the cow magnets?
And he was like, this is fun. We should mass produce these for kids.
That makes sense.
So they can also eat one magnet.
But only one! Only
one!
If you eat another one, you're screwed. Okay.
All right, what's next on the dangerous list?
Number 19, you might be able to get this one, but this one is inflatable baby floats, which I don't really think that counts as a toy. I don't know why that's on the list.
So inflatable baby floats, I think there's something that someone, like, if the baby flips over, then they'll drown because they're in the floaty.
That does happen.
Is that what they're talking about?
That's not what they're talking about with this, but it's pretty close.
Or is it a suffocating hazard?
Not a suffocating hazard. I'm surprised you didn't get it immediately. What's one thing that you think of with inflatables, Trace? What tends to happen when things inflate?
Pop?
Yes. And if you put
the baby will pop?
The baby will pop. No.
We're going to pop the baby?
No, don't pop the baby, Trace! Don't pop the baby! No, the floats will pop and then they'll drown. Because if they're whole, like, they're not well made.
I guess, yeah. Well, I'm more like, I think it's a whole lot more common for, like, you put them in like those floatable chairs when they're in the pool.
Oh my God, those chairs are terrifying. Those chairs are death sentences.
And as soon as they flip, like, that baby is dead.
It wasn't a chair, but it was like a massive thing in one of the local pools as a kid, like something that people were supposed to climb on top of and slide down. And I got I accidentally like did a flip and wound up underneath it, and I didn't realize I was underneath it. So I tried to come up for air, and I bonked my head on it. I'm like, oh! And I struggled to get out from underneath it before I drowned. I'm like, I'm thankful to be alive. And my parents didn't even notice.
Yeah. No, have you watched the new Beyond the Fandom episode?
I've never even heard of Beyond the Fandom.
Really?
That's new to me, yeah.
So do you remember the fandom, like the documentary that Ash Coyote made like a couple years ago?
Who is Ash Coyote?
Someone in the fandom who's like a documentor.
What fan? I'm assuming the furry fandom, given the name.
The one that we're both in.
We're in multiple fandoms.
We talk about often.
You're technically in the Doctor Who fandom. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not. Like, I watched it. I found myself in the fandom.
I found out recently that my roommate's in the Doctor Who fandom, only because she started talking about how Doctor Who is doing a collaboration with Magic the Gathering, which, what a fucking wild collaboration idea.
Well, they're doing so many collaborations. Like,
they're
also doing a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Collaboration, and that's so contentious in the Magic the Gathering fandom, which I am in. Like, because people are like... We'll get back to the fandom in a little bit.
Okay.
But like because people are like, oh, this is more just reason for us to buy new cards. Like they're not strengthening the core gameplay. These are just side decks that don't actually like go into
they're
modern.
Not meant to be like too strong or anything like that. They're not meta.
Well, I think they're banned from meta is the thing.
Fair.
So like they're literally just there for people to buy.
Yeah.
And for anyone that's competitive, and I could be wrong. I can't remember exactly everything. Like I'm in the Magic the Gathering fandom, but I'm not like an authority on the Magic the Gathering fandom.
You know what? Honestly, I should just talk to my roommate. She plays Commander like 3 times each week. I swear to God.
Yeah. You should learn Magic again, because I'm pretty sure we taught you in college. So
I have never once played Magic the Gathering, and I will not change that.
Because I taught my mom Magic the Gathering.
I know for a fact that I have never in my life played Magic the Gathering, and that will not change.
We had to have forced you to like try one.
Nope.
But
look, I cannot be forced to do things I don't want to do. If I'm in a situation I don't like, I'm gone immediately. You know this. You know this.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, the fandom, like they just released an episode on like inflatable furries, like cool toy furries, and one of them has this massive, I want to say like blue dragon. That, like,
I've seen it. Yeah, I'm not an inflatable furry, but I'm in those circles. Like they're very tangentially related to me, and I'm like not opposed to them. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine to see. I've seen the giant blue dragon. I've seen it.
Big giant one. It has like the little orange whiskers. And it's so fucking cool. Like I am not.
It is neat. It's so neat.
But I was like, that's fucking hard. Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
It is.
It's amazing. So shout out, I guess, the fandom, which is probably way bigger. No, it's not probably. It is definitely way bigger than this podcast.
I'm
But
like,
if you
the fact
haven't
that
watched
you
it yet-
expected me to have heard of it indicates that it's bigger than this podcast.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I felt like all furries are, well, not really, but
I'm
anyway,
very
if you
bad
watched-
at keeping up with like the furry community. I'm not like active in like consuming content, you know? I
That's fair.
I see the creators I like, and that's about it.
yeah, well, you dropped off Twitter, so,
I dropped off Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky, baby.
which is still like low. Like, I never post on Blue Sky, and I forget that it's there.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, if you watched the fandom documentary a couple years ago, that was like an hour and a half long movie about how the fandom started. That same creator and that same team is making a series now of like smaller documentary episodes on different aspects of the fandom. Highly suggest to go watch. I
Cool.
don't think they've gotten near enough views. So promote that more.
I might have to go check it out. I'm probably not immediately after this episode because I'm going to go record some more Mario Wonder. I literally
Yeah.
just finished one level when you reached out to me and said to record, like asked to record this. I'm like, I'm going to have to play the rest of the levels. I can't.
This is our
I
normal
can't.
recording day.
I know. I just forgot about it. I didn't realize it was Sunday. I already missed something with another friend of mine that we do every Friday. I'm like, my brain is gone. I'm not.
That's what you
I'm
get
not
for working
paying
a 9 to
attention right
5
now.
now.
I mean, honestly, the 9 to 5 is great. It's just that Mario Wonder came out. It's that my brain is focused on like I want to play this
Mario.
game right now. I want to play Mario. Mario's fun.
It's me,
Anyway,
Mario.
speaking of Mario, number 18 on our list.
18.
Yeah, it's a 20. It's a 20 list. Trace.
Oh, you said 12 the other, like,
No, I said 19. Now we're on 18.
someone rewind. He said it's coming in at number 12, like at least a little bit ago.
I can skip to 12 if you want me to, but
No,
I
no,
feel like
what's-
number 18 is very
18?
interesting. It's a child's wood burning kit. Now tell me, Trace, what went wrong here?
I wonder, was it like, okay, we're talking about wood burning, like with the soldering, like,
Yes, so this is burning actual wood. It's kind of targeted toward like Boy Scouts at the time.
it's targeted to boys.
Boys, yeah. This is like specifically the 1950s ages, for instance.
That makes so much sense.
These were. They're the types who generally don't need their toys bubble wrapped. Yeah, that's. I mean,
Is that
that's written in
that-
the article. Yeah.
okay? I was like, that was clever. If you came up with that right
Oh,
now.
who do you think I am, Trace? I'm not smart. I'm fucking stupid.
Well, regale me on the story of the child wood burning kit.
I mean, I don't know if there's much story there is. It says here, okay, sets from the 1950s were notorious for burns and for trusting in the fact that kids would learn responsibility. Modern kits, like those made by educational toy companies like TS Shore and NSI, are more safety-minded, but no amount of safety recommendations can mitigate the potential for burns or, worse, fires. If it can burn a pattern into wood, it can burn plenty of other stuff too.
Yeah.
and-
Well, I can't remember what the little sticky thing is called. Like, I say a soldering iron because, like, that's what I'm used to. Like,
Yeah, because you're an electrician who solders things often, yeah.
well, I was in radio, and sometimes, like, a connector
That's true, yeah, you're right.
breaks. And you, like, have to fix it. So, like,
I don't know what the thing is called for burning wood, but it's very similar to a soldering
it's very
iron, yeah.
similar. It's very close to it. No, the other day I was talking about welding to a friend, and they thought I was talking about soldering, and I was like, no, welding, like arc welding, like like with an electrode. And they're like, oh, when did you learn to do that? And I was like, 6th grade.
I do like that. I do think it's funny.
Because for people who don't know, electrode arc welding is like one of the most dangerous forms of welding.
It really is. It's
Because it's so electrocution prone.
I need to learn electricity stuff because I'm trying to build my fucking tiny Wii sensor bar for emulation.
Your tiny
and it's-
wiener.
My tiny wiener, yeah. That's just I haven't had luck with it because electricity is hard.
It
I
is.
burnt out like 3 LEDs trying to do it because apparently 3 volts is too much for 2 LEDs. Like, Jesus Christ. I hate electricity sometimes.
So do I. But yeah, so arc welding is what I learned in 6th grade for the first half of 6th grade. The second half of 6th grade, we did oxyacetylene welding, which that one's not an electrocution risk. That's a blowing up the entire shop risk.
That makes sense.
You used compressed oxygen. Which is incredibly flammable.
Good Lord.
And you're lighting it on fire. So that's what they teach you in 6th grade in the country.
Well, speaking of potentially blowing things up, you want to talk about number 17?
Yeah.
Number 17 is Mattel's Creepy Crawlers. And I wasn't familiar with this one beforehand, so I did have to look this up. If you have to look it up, that's okay, or I can describe it to you.
Is this where you made the bugs?
This was the little thing where you cast a mold of a bug and then you put it in a small oven and it would make the
my
bug.
Brother and I had this. Yeah.
That's fair.
Did it explode and catch fire because it had that little oven part in it?
Thankfully, that's not what they're going with, but it feels. Okay, so I'm going to read their thing. It might not exactly be playing with fire, but this creation station still involves high temperatures, and in early models, toxic fumes.
Oh my god.
Mattel, So the Creepy Crawlers first started being produced in 1964.
Really?
Yeah, they're old.
Damn.
They're not new. They got rebranded in 1990s, which got a little bit safer and they didn't have the toxic fumes. But
yeah.
That oven was still up to they market specifically at 390 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice.
So you can easily burn yourself. That's
I love
hot.
giving kids extremely hot things.
We love potentially burning children.
I loved the creepy crawler machine that my brother and I had because we got to make little gummy, not edible. They were not edible.
You got to make edibles as a kid? God damn.
No, I just said they're not edible. You just get to look at them. But I thought there is such an innate response to make potions as a child.
Actually true. Genuinely true. I'm right there with you.
There's this need in your that's primal urge to make your little potions when you're a kid. And this fed into that so much because you would get to mix in their little tray what you wanted your bug to look like, and you had this goopy kind of a little viscous colored material that you're using to make these little bugs. It fed into that primal urge of making potions.
I'm so glad you said that because I've never met anyone else who could relate to that experience with me.
Really? I've met a lot of people who are like, oh god, yeah, I loved to try to make little potions as a kid. I would go into the bathroom and then lock the door and then I'd be a little squirt of hand soap.
Okay, that's funny. I like that. I like that a lot.
You wanted to make your little potions, and every time I had an empty bottle, I was like, I know what I can use this for.
Wild, but okay, fair enough.
My little potion.
Your little potions, yeah. Trace, have you ever played? There's a game I'm going to tell you, and I know you haven't played of it. It was my obsession game for a month. It's called Potion Craft, Alchemist Simulator.
Oh my god!
It is. It's so fun. It's very up your alley. I have it
because it makes little potions?
Because it makes little potions, yes. And you get to toss random shit in there that you find in your backyard to make it miscellaneous potions. I love it to death. You're probably gonna love it. Honestly, if you want to play it, you can have access to my Xbox account. That's fine. I got no problems with that.
I don't know. Comment down below if you had a desire to make little potions as a child, I guess.
Yeah.
I've heard a few people who say that, and I think it's true. I think we all had an innate little urge to create potions when we were a child.
Oh my goodness.
Including little bugs and fire.
Well, while you're typing out the urge to make potions, we're gonna move on to number 16.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this out loud, and I want you to stop me when you realize what the problem is. Number 16 is the Austin Magic Pistol.
So this is probably one of those pistols that you would load one of those little cartridges in, and they would snap it and it'd make a loud boom because it was little gunpowder firecrackers that were in there, but they would get so hot that they would burn your fingers.
So you are kind of right in that you would load a cartridge into it. It's not an issue that it would burn your fingers. It's that it actually shot. This was a real pistol.
Well, they gave my brother a BB gun, and he shot me with that. So.
That's fair. Yeah, it didn't shoot actual like physical pellets or like bullets, obviously, but it shot flames. So tell me here what you think the issue might be.
The flames. But does anyone else know what I'm talking about? Like, they had, like, because I know this was a toy that was, like, before my time. Like, this wasn't a toy that you would get at a store when I was supposed to be young. Like, this was, like, an 80s or 70s toy.
I mean, this one was 50s, yeah.
And, like, you would load, like, these little tiny cartridges in it. And, like, it would be, you know those firecrackers that you get? Well, not firecrackers, like those little things that you get during 4th of July that you throw on the ground.
Yeah, those.
And they make like a loud snap noise. Like, I'm pretty sure it was the exact same stuff because you would, like...
You might have had this toy, actually, then. That might have been the Austin Magic pistol, because the cartridges that you would load this up are calcium carbide and water, which any of my chemistry nerds out there, that's not a good combo. Don't do that. Don't combine that. That's a violent explosion. Like, that's a big thing.
Okay, no, it wasn't like this because it looked like an actual revolver.
Oh, okay, fair. I mean, it could have just been simply a different design, but yeah, it's similar concept.
But it didn't shoot anything. It didn't shoot anything out the front. Like, it was literally just to make loud noises.
Oh, okay.
But after you would use the cartridge and you would try to go and remove it,
the cartridge was hot?
So hot that it would burn the tips of your fingers.
Interesting. Yeah, they don't say anything about burning your fingers on the cartridge, but it shoots flames out the front, so I'm assuming it gets hot in there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was very, like, because once we ran out of the little things that made the noise, we couldn't get them anymore.
Yeah. Where are you going to get calcium carbide and water? What the fuck?
That's not what they used. Like, it was literally like whatever the hell they use on those little snap things.
I mean, probably water at least is one of the ingredients. Who knows what the other one was?
Because they're dry. Have you never used them before?
The cartridges are dry, but they have, like, I don't know what you're talking about then, maybe. I'm crazy.
Like, when you're at 4th of July and they come in a little box and they're like little baggies that you throw on the ground and they'll snap?
Yeah, I know those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the water?
I actually don't know what those are made of. Okay, hold on. Wait. 4th of July throwables.
Yeah, well, they're little snap things. Because, like, those are another thing that you would throw at your sibling and make them snap, and it would, like, sear the skin a little bit.
Uh-huh. Bang snaps. Okay, so bang snaps, those things, apparently that's what they're called. I did not know that.
Okay, cool.
They're made
Learn
of...
something new every day.
They're made of gravel and silver fulminate.
Nice.
So silver fulminate's the explosive. Interesting. Good to know. I used to know my chemistry. I don't know chemistry very much anymore. But moving on, maybe there's a way to teach me chemistry if you'd like. Number 15, Trace. Which we're like 30 minutes into the episode and we're only at number 15.
I'm listening, yeah.
The Science Whiz Bottle Rocket Party.
I'm assuming it's because it's fucking bottle rockets. Which is another thing that you shot at your siblings.
Yes, that is precisely it.
Like, you would light them. Oh, shit, my mic. You would light them, and you would hold them, and you would point them at your sibling, and they'd be like, no, stop, stop. I was the sibling that would go, no, stop, stop.
Yes.
And then you'd let it go, and they'd fly at the sibling, and then they would hurt.
And then, yeah. And Watch Mode's just really stupid because they bring that up, but they specifically say the one issue is that this kit doesn't include safety goggles. And I'm like, I don't think that's really the issue with this. I mean, yes, technically this could hurt you in the eyes and face. I think the issue is just people getting hit with these constantly.
Yeah.
These are painful. Bottle rockets are painful.
Yeah, they spark and, like, they can catch your clothing on fire. And, like, they do a lot more than just hit your face.
They're legitimately painful, yeah. I get it, for sure. Shall we move on?
Because it's a little firecracker. Yeah, it was like a little firecracker that you launch, and they told you not to hold fucking firecrackers because they'll...
And everyone did.
...damage your fingers.
And then the bottle just go pew!
And then they shoot at you, and they'd, like, stick on your body because they're, like, trying to go forceful, and you're a fat little kid, so it's hard for it to get around you.
Can't relate.
Anyway, what's next?
Number 14. We were talking about baking things earlier. We have the Easy Bake Oven.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like everyone knows what the Easy Bake Oven is, you know?
Yeah. Was
an
the
oven.
problem that you would eat undercooked food?
Not inherently. I don't. That's not the problem. Watch Mojo points out, though. I can't see why that would have been a thing.
Is it the heat then? Because they seem to be focused a lot on heat and burning.
Well, they do specify that it gets up to 600 degrees, but that's not the issue either.
Jesus. Well, then what is it? Watch Mojo.
There have been 11 models of the Easy Bake Oven, and in 2 of them, there were issues of kids getting their fingers stuck in the front-loading door.
I think they're just dumb kids. I'm like,
one of those dumb kids needed a partial finger amputation. So tell me now.
Don't stick your finger in.
Don't stick your finger in the fucking oven.
Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm victim blaming the child here.
No, you're right.
That does suck. And as a parent, you should be able to have safe toys to give to your children. And,
yeah, as a parent,
like I get that. That's fine. Don't stick your finger in things that you're not supposed to stick your finger in, all right?
I just like
6-year-old child that hypothetically listens to this show.
I just like the way that you said as a parent, as if you were a parent. Like
I do. I have 4 children. Their names are Juno, Denver, Boog, and Okie.
Yeah, actually.
And these bitches back here.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Well, just as long as they don't stick their finger in the front loader of the Easy Bake Oven, then that's
okay.
That.
You know
what,
I trust my cats to not do that. Those bitches would stick their whole fucking face in there.
Their entire tail just goes directly in. Yeah.
Like, they have anything I put in there, face instantly inside of all the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I'm never gonna get. I have to also supervise them anytime that they're around toys. I get it, parents.
For anyone who's not watching and just listening to the audio, Trace was pointing at his pet rats.
Yeah, my 2 rats that are always in the background, Eustace and Erasmus.
I love their names. They have such great names. Oh my god.
Or
Number
Hugh
13.
and Elmo for short.
Hugh and Elmo. I like that. Okay. Number 13. Now again, this is one of those where I want you to tell me when you notice the problem, because you might notice it just on the title. This is the Stats 38 Quick Folding Trampoline.
Is it the fact that you would jump on it and it would fold? And you would hurt yourself?
I mean, yes. Yep. And also, the fact that it's a trampoline that's kind of tiny meant that it's very hard to land on sometimes.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, trampolines were just dangerous altogether.
Trampolines are very dangerous.
People got mad when they put nets on trampolines, but I think that was just a small concession that they could make to try to make them a little safer.
Yeah, the nets didn't help at all. Because even with the nets, you could still land on like that metal outer rim. I broke my
the springs.
I broke my brother's leg on a trampoline. Like, legitimately. I still to this day feel bad. And every time I bring it up, he's like, "No, you didn't break my leg. I did." And I'm like, "No, buddy.
Did you try to steal his bounce and then he fell over?
Yes! That is exactly what it was. I stole his bounce and he just fucking crunched his leg. It felt that is exactly how it worked. Yeah.
But okay, 2 times. One time I tried to do a backflip on the trampoline when I was a kid.
Nice.
Back when I was a little more nimble.
Based.
I missed the trampoline.
Oh!
Fell right onto the ground.
Oh!
That shit hurt.
And you said 2 times?
Yeah, so I cannot remember, because you'll understand why in a little bit. I cannot remember the first one very well. That time that I described to you was the second time.
Uh-huh.
I landed on like a flower plant, which I guess kind of cushioned my fall a little bit.
A little?
But I was fine. I was able to get up. Like, it hurt a whole lot. I was very scratched. Because it was a very twiggy type of flower. But it hurt. The first time, I was much younger. I don't remember what I was doing, but I fell off the trampoline and hit my head on a rock. And I do not remember anything until waking up. Like, I don't remember this whole entire interaction. Like, I don't remember most of this day. I just remember waking up on the couch. I think that's where it all went downhill. That's probably where I turned into a furry right there. Like,
holy
some
shit.
wires.
That rock turned you gay.
Yeah,
that rock turned you into a furry.
I turned into a little F slur. It was like, it crossed my wires in the wrong way. And it was like, I think I like Barbies now in the color pink. And I want to be a cheerleader for some reason.
Holy shit, Trace.
Concussions make you gay. Concussions
make you gay. All right. Well, number 12. Very similar to a trampoline, we have a mini hammock.
Yeah. I mean, this is just asking to be tossed out of it. And
hammocks are dangerous, actually. Like, you don't really think about that, but those things flip and flop.
I'm fat. I want nothing more than to cuddle up with a man in a hammock, but I know that there's like no hammock alive that would both support me and whatever man.
Well, no, I feel like making the hammock wouldn't be that hard. It's just trying to figure out the right place to attach it. Like,
well, sure.
The tree
Maybe I have to find some old growth trees. I gotta drive to California and get some redwood oaks.
Fair.
And then maybe I'll finally have my dreams of cuddling up in a hammock with a man, which it'll be way too hot because it's already like I think my maximum cuddle time is like an hour unless we're doing other things.
Your maximum cuddle time is an hour unless it's like 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I keep my house 69 degrees at all times. One, because it's funny, and two, because I need to be cool to cuddle with people.
Hey, I get it. There's nothing wrong with being cool. I'm very prone to low temperatures. I often need to wear like jackets and stuff. But I get it. I like whenever I visit you, I'm wearing long sleeves.
Well, that's why I also have like a million blankets in my house for if like, someone's over.
Yes! I'm a blanket bitch.
I can give them like 5 blankets and be like, there you go. Well, I had a friend recently over, which is last weekend. I don't know. Time's flown in a weird way.
Time doesn't exist.
But I was hanging out with a friend and that was staying over here for the weekend. And I like had a singular sheet when I slept, like literally the thin sheet that is normally just there as a buffer.
Yes.
I had that, and then they had like 6 of my other blankets. And that's how we had to sleep.
I know the feeling. I can relate to that. Oh my god.
Because I'm just such a warm person. Like, please go camping with me. You won't need a furnace in your tent or whatever, like, or a radiator. Like a
Trace is the furnace. That's absolutely true. I am the furnace.
Like, I will wake up in my room sometimes with the air conditioner still going on full blast, and my room will still feel warm, probably just because I've been the one sleeping in it. And I've radiated all my heat outward. Anyway,
moving on.
To sleep in a hammock.
Oh, okay, fair. Well, while you're currently DMing Trace to go sleep in a hammock with him, number 11 on this list, I guarantee you had these. These are moon shoes.
I did not have these.
Really? Also, you didn't have moon shoes?
No.
Did you have you ever tried?
Rich?
I mean, they weren't that expensive. They sold them on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but we weren't a fucking rich family.
Fair. Did you ever try moon shoes, or have you heard of like what the problem with these was?
Well, you'd break your ankle.
You would absolutely break your ankle. Yeah,
you'd be jumping on them, and you don't have a stable footing, and you'd break your ankle.
Mm-hmm. And I want to note that is the Nickelodeon version. The Nickelodeon version grinds your ankles, the bones into fucking dust with how often you land on them even just slightly off balance, and your ankles immediately coming like out. It's the Nickelodeon version. Moon shoes existed since the 1950s. And I'm going to show you a picture of what they first looked like in the 50s. I sent it to you on Discord.
Yeah, that would have been the version we got out on the farm. Just some springs on the bottom of metal soles.
For anyone who's too scared to Google the 1950s moon shoes right now, let me describe to you what we're looking at. This is just a metal plate with 2 straps on top of it and giant fucking springs underneath.
This is like Looney Tunes shit.
These are Looney Tunes shoes. Yes, they are. So they don't have the ankle breaker, thankfully. Instead, they're just giant metal things that will, like, the moment you go off balance, you're just on the floor dead. Like, these... Oh my god, I can see why Nickelodeon remade them. Unfortunately, they made them significantly scarier.
Well, apparently you can still buy moon shoes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They're popular, and they hurt you. Stop buying them.
Did you have moon shoes as a kid?
No, but my cousins did.
Well, your cousins, I guess, were a little bit more bourgeois than you.
Dude, you have no idea. My cousins are fucking rich. Like, genuinely, they have like a 4-story house, and have had that 4-story house as long as I've known them. And I'm like,
Jesus
how the
Christ.
fuck? Why does anyone need 4 stories in their house? I've never even read more than one story.
Good one.
Anywho, moving on. Number 10 is going to interest you, and this is going... The first time I saw this, I had no clue how this was dangerous, but once I read it, it made sense to me. The number 10 is the Hannah Montana Pop Star card game. What do you think is dangerous about the Hannah Montana Pop Star card game?
They had lead in them.
How did you know that? Holy shit.
Because I've heard of them before.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, they had lead in them for some reason.
Fair enough. Okay, pop off. I'm impressed that you knew that. Yeah, they have 75 times the level of lead legally permitted in consumer goods. They said that Hannah Montana was slowly poisoning children, and I'm like, holy, that's crazy.
So back to my friend being here this weekend. I was like showing them things in my house because you know how I love my little knickknacks that are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I have a bunch of antiques that are just throughout my house because I'm a very sentimental person.
Yeah.
I've inherited a lot from my family. And one of the things I've inherited is my grandma loves glasswork.
Okay. Oh, and there's a lot of lead in that glasswork.
No, it's not lead. Not lead. But I was like, oh, you should pick up that one right there and like take a look at it. And they're like, oh, this is cool. And then I was like, yeah, it's uranium.
Trace, you've never let me hold the uranium cup. What the fuck?
Because it wasn't unpacked the last time you were here.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you did some cleaning recently. Yeah, that scans.
Yeah, I have one uranium glass bowl. Which, if you're wondering, what do you mean uranium glass? Look it up. It's something that they used to do.
Yeah.
It was just glass that had a little bit of uranium in it, and it's completely safe. Like, I wouldn't eat out of it, but you can touch it.
You can touch it, yeah. It's not bad.
I'm pretty sure the radiation is comparable to that of a banana, so, like, it's completely fine.
Yeah.
But it has little uranium in it. When you shine a black light on it, it glows, which is really cool.
We like glowing.
Yeah, well, that's what it reminds me of, is now I need the Hannah Montana LED playing cards. Wait, were they playing cards or were they collectible? What kind of cards were they?
It was a playing card game, but the actual, like, danger of it was the carrying case that it came with. And due to, they specify that due to a legal loophole, because the lead was found in the vinyl and not in the paint, it stayed on shelves. It wasn't recalled. And that's terrifying to me, actually. That
I want you to know. I started thinking, like, oh, what if you ate it? And then I thought, haha, like Seth ate plastics in school.
I ate so many plastic cards. You have no idea. It's crazy.
Like, every time someone mentions microplastics, I go,
Seth.
Macroplastics. Because of that joke that we made.
It's good. It's a funny one. I get it.
No, that's okay. At least you're not the feet friend.
The feet friend? Do you have a feet friend? We do have a feet friend. You're right.
We have many feet friends, but every time I think of a foot joke, I'll think of this particular friend. I'm not going to shame them on this podcast.
I am. Fuck you.
I'm going to name names, but every time a feet joke happens, I'm always like, this friend. Like,
all right, Trace. We have been recording for about 15 minutes, and we have 9 left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to propose an idea to you, and I want to know what your thoughts are.
Lightning round.
Either lightning round, or we save the rest of this list for a part 2.
Wow, our first ever part 2?
What are you thinking, buddy? Do we want to lightning round it? Do we want to soar past these next 9? Or do we want to save these?
I said let's go lightning round.
Because some of these I do want to get into details with, especially number 8. But okay, if we were doing lightning round, okay.
Hey, if we have a 2-hour episode, we have a 2-hour episode, I guess. Like,
I mean, that's fair. I'll get back to recording Mario someday. Fine, I guess. All right, so number 9.
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kids.
I don't know. Did this also have lead in it? Was this the uranium glass?
It did not have lead in it, so they're not normal Cabbage Patch Kids. These are the Snack Time dolls. These could bite and swallow plastic food.
Right, and their hair would get stuck in them.
Or hair, yes. Or pretty much anything that someone else would put in it. The dolls,
Venus.
It specifically said, oh my god, Trace, don't get your dick bit off by the Cabbage Patch Kid. Don't stick your dick in the cabbage cat. Yeah.
Don't scream at me. I'm learning.
All right. And now that we've burst the eardrums of everyone listening, yeah, it was just. They do specifically have a story about how one girl's hair was allegedly ripped down to the scalp, and Mattel offered $40 as a refund.
It's nice. $40. I think it's worth it.
I'm like, holy shit.
The shit I'd do for $40 right now.
Honestly, I get it. I get it.
So, like, I get it. Like, I would do some things for $40 at this moment. So I think $40 is worth it.
All right, number 8. Number 8. Oh, this one scares me. You might need to look up a video for this one when we get to it. But this is the Sky Rangers Park Flyer radio-controlled airplane. So you know those RC cars, right? Like so imagine a plane, one of those.
Okay.
That you have to throw it for it to take off. Like it doesn't start on the ground. You use the RC to take it off. You have to throw it.
Okay. Okay.
Now imagine it explodes randomly for no reason.
It's like the U.S. military.
True. Big true. Yeah. And Trey, specifically, when I say it explodes, I mean like big explosion. Like legitimately,
like the U.S. military,
like the U.S. military. Yeah, exactly. No, but like, oh my god, seriously. I thought this was kind of joking. I saw videos of this. The very first video I saw was it exploding like as it landed, like as it crashed, and it was a fucking fireball the size of a tree. It was huge.
Oh my god.
The fact that it's not always like when it lands, sometimes it just explodes while flying, sometimes it explodes in people's hands.
Nice.
Yeah.
What the
like as they're throwing it.
Who made this?
This was the Sky Rangers Park Flyer. So it was by Estes Cox Corp.
Cox.
I don't. ESTES-COX Corp. I'm assuming Estes Cox. I don't know how to pronounce that. What? Stop making your company have a. Actually, you know what? Actually, in this specific case, it's a good thing that we can't pronounce it because I can't sue something I can't pronounce.
You can't sue something, or you can't get sued by something you cannot pronounce.
Both.
I mean,
I don't know. Is anyone going to sue this podcast? If anything, they're going to sue Watch Mojo.
Yeah,
we're just reading the Watch Mojo article.
Actually, if anyone's gonna sue Watch Mojo, can we get in on that? We'll help you. We'll say, actually, I think this article was unfair. I think the Estes Cox Sky Ranger plane that exploded sometimes was actually a really good invention and really got kids into the airplane industry. And
Fair.
Play that in court. So.
Please do. Please. Oh my god.
There we go.
That's how we get famous. That's how this podcast takes off. We just get we get played in court. All right. Now okay. Number 7 was the Zulu blowing game. So Trace.
That's what I do at a freight convention.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Anywho.
What's the Zulu blowing game?
It was a blow dart.
Oh! It was just a blow dart?
It was just a blow dart. It was legitimately just a blow dart. But the issue wasn't like, I mean, obviously a blow dart is dangerous. The point is that you put a dart in the straw, you inhale, you put it to your lips, and you blow.
Was the people inhaling the dart?
People were inhaling the dart, yeah. They put it in the straw, they put it to the lips, and then they inhaled, and they're like, wait a minute, I got the steps wrong! I did it out of order!
So something I do, I sew, and I know everyone who sews is going to freak out when I say this.
Yeah.
But, like, I put the needles in my lips. Like, I'll hold, like, a couple needles.
Trace!
Which is like the biggest no-no. Do not do that. But it's just something that I learned from like my grandma, because she's the one who like taught me to sew. And then like I went and took quilting lessons, and she was an older lady, and so like she would also like put them there. So like that's just what I learned, and so it's like it's an instinct to be like, oh, I've got a few needles like I'm using to, you know, like I have a shirt on my desk for some reason. So like
the fact that you just have a shirt on your desk prepared for this.
I'm sorry for the people who can't see visually, but like when you have fabric and you go and you set it before you start sewing it, and you put needles in so that it stays the same length when you have a very long piece of fabric you want to sew together.
Yes.
You need a lot of needles to set that so that it stays exactly where you want it. And how do you hold all those needles? You put them in your mouth and you go, the entire time. Every time I do that, I sit there and I shout in my brain the entire time, don't cough, don't sneeze. Don't
Yeah, for real. You're just in danger territory there.
Just get a pincushion, okay? And I have a pincushion. It's just, and as soon as I realize what I'm doing, like, I will go through and I'll be like, don't snuff, don't snuff.
Don't snuff. Don't snuff,
cough,
Trace! Don't you
cough,
dare
don't sneeze,
snuff!
Don't cough, don't sneeze. As I'm putting them in, I'll be like, why don't I use my pincushion? So I'll bring out my little pincushion, I'll take them out, I'll put them in there, and then I'll start using it that way.
Yeah.
I get it. You're not supposed to do that. So this is a visceral, like, terrifying thing that I have. It's like a sharp thing in your throat. It also happens when I have a toothpick in my mouth.
I love that. Of course. Of course.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's
game.
the Zulu blowing game. Yep. Which, honestly, phenomenal name, at least. Like, tell me that's not a great name.
Zulu, like, it's calling it the Zulu blowing game is a little appropriative.
Yeah.
But, hey, the blowing game, I play that all the time, baby.
Oh my god, baby. Let's pop off.
I
Okay.
never want to hear that from you ever again.
Too late. You already heard it, and you're going to have to listen to this episode later. Number 6.
Yeah.
This is a toy by Mattel. It's called the Battlestar Galactica Colonial Viper.
Colonial?
Well, no, that's that. So the Colonial Viper was the name of a ship from Battlestar Galactica. This was a replica of the ship, basically, that people could have as a toy. It had a spring-loaded missile.
Oh.
Now tell me, Trace, what happens when there are small parts that it gets shot out of objects?
It's in the eye.
It's in the...
Or kids swallow it.
Yeah, inhaling and swallowing it. Yeah, that's mostly it. I feel like this shouldn't be that high compared to the fucking exploding plane. But
I feel like the exploding plane is a little bit worse here. Now, this reminds me of one of my favorite phrases. So, Bakugan, right?
Yes.
Super obsessed with Bakugan as a kid. Every Bakugan package, or at least... I don't know if the new ones do, but every like classic Bakugan package had one phrase that has stuck with me for like my entire life, and it was caution: small parts and small balls.
Small parts and small balls, baby. All right, more of the blowing game. All right, I see how this is.
So the reason it stuck with me is because my mom saw that and she laughed, and then she like wouldn't explain to me why she thought it was funny, and then one day it dawned on me in like a fucking delusion. I was like, she was talking about penis. And so
yes,
that phrase,
Trace. Oh my god.
Caution, small parts and small balls has stuck with me forever. And most recently, I was listening to the new Doja Cat album, and one of her songs, it's the Demons one.
I don't know why you're saying this like I'm gonna understand any of it.
Right. Well, there's a line in it that says, "If you're throwing dick at me, that shit should be big at least," right? and I thought, yep, she doesn't like the small parts and small balls. And
small
I was
parts,
like,
no small balls. I get it.
I was like, would anyone get that? That's a Bakugan reference. Anyway, what's next?
Number 5. I'm disappointed in how this has gone. Number 5 is the CSI Crime Scene Investigation Fingerprint Examination Kit.
I don't know, were the chemicals bad?
I mean, some of them
were.
were.
The chemicals?
So
was there lead in it?
When I first heard this, I thought it was going to be something really silly, like a child actually solved a crime and they got put on like a crimes watch list. No, there's just a fuck ton of asbestos.
Oh, asbestos.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep.
Asbestos, which is a rock. Did you know that's a rock?
Yeah, I did know that's a rock. That's very weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a rock, but it is a rock.
I have to remind myself every single time that asbestos is a rock.
It doesn't look like it when you see it, but you only see it like as a powder.
Yeah,
it's a rock.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
And it also gives you mesothelioma.
Yep. It oh my god, it kills people so bad. And the fact that our college dorms was like full, or not the dorms, but like the like one of the buildings that we had. My psychology
I was about to say, I was like, we lived in the
it.
updated dorms, so they got rid of all the asbestos.
Yeah.
But in the buildings,
the psychology building specifically had a ton of asbestos. That I'm like, come on.
I'm also pretty sure the science building. Oh my god.
Yeah, there were a lot of buildings on my campus that had a ton.
Yeah, like it's so bad.
It's
Update your colleges, America.
For real. Like, you have so much money for sports. Can't you spend that to make sure people don't get cancer at your college?
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be nice? I don't want mesothelioma.
I don't want mesothelioma. I don't want to be like a 50-year-old.
If you or your loved one has mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Sue your college. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think the kids these days are going to be as affected by ads as we were. Like,
we all have AdBlock and YouTube Premium. We just skip everything. We don't watch shit.
Well, I mean, YouTube now is cracking down on AdBlock, so we'll see how long that lasts.
YouTube's been making a lot of decisions recently that I'm not happy with. Cough, cough, the Sniper Wolf situation.
I've actually been following that.
I've been a fan of Jack's films for a while, so I was aware of this ahead of time. It's spicy. I don't want to get into it here. I want to wait and see just a little bit longer to see how things go before we talk about it on this podcast.
Well, I mean, like, YouTube, quote-unquote, censored her, and she released her apology and whatnot. But anyway, we don't have to get into it. What's next?
Aquadots.
Like Orbeez?
No, aquadots.
What's an aquadot?
Aquadots are small, colorful balls that you arrange into patterns or images. Spray the design with water, and they can solidify into a single piece of art.
Right.
These
I remember when these. Go ahead.
They would basically just melt into a solid when they get wet, and you know what's wet? Stomachs.
Your stomach. Because I remember when these were recalled because my friend had a bunch of them. And her father was like, we have to give them back because they're apparently dangerous for kids. And she's like, no, Daddy, I won't eat them.
Oh my god!
Because she liked making the little designs, and I liked making the little designs.
Yeah, I mean, they were cool designs for sure. I remember this too, but oh my god, yeah. It says, if it was in the stomach, they produced a compound that breaks down into GHB, otherwise known as liquid ecstasy.
Oh my god, you tell me I could have gotten high if I did eat them?
You could have gotten high as a kite. But also, they cause vomiting, respiratory failure, seizures, and comas. So
what? I've done pop.
Yep, you're right. I guess technically speaking, we've been in riskier situations than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I accidentally took ketamine, so like, whatever.
How do you accidentally take ketamine? What the fuck?
You know, you get your drugs from untrusted sources.
That's true.
Always don't take pills from people you don't really know.
Just don't do drugs.
Don't be an early 20-year-old who's a little too happy, okay?
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah, I get it.
I thought I was taking ecstasy, and it was most likely ketamine, all right?
How did you find out that afterward?
One of my friends, who's actually in the group chat that you and I are in together, he actually tested the pills because he got the same pills from the same people. And he tested them, and they tested positive for K. So.
Oh, fun! Love that.
So.
All right.
We're no longer friends with the person who gave us the pills. By the way, we cut them out of our life.
Good, as you should. Number 3. Trace. Again, stop me when you understand the issue. This was the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory.
Atomic Energy Laboratory. Okay, keep going.
Between the years of 1910 and 1950...
Is it uranium?
Yep, uranium-238.
Yep, it's like, because that's prime uranium time. That's when uranium glass is being made.
It is literally a chemistry set designed...
Sorry.
It was designed... It was basically a home lab to make atomic energy out of uranium-238. The glass-blowing kit involved temperatures close to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it also includes multiple kinds of uranium, a Geiger counter to measure radioactivity, and a cloud chamber to observe alpha particles in action. And if you know what any of that is, that should not be given to children.
They're making uranium glass. Oh, that's so cool. And I brought that up earlier. It's like a little teaser.
Yeah.
This is also the era where they were using uranium in watches and also hat making.
Yeah, they didn't realize how dangerous uranium was back then.
And there's these really fun photos of like the girls who would work in these hat factories, like putting the uranium like under their eyes and like like, you know, making designs on their face and like taking photos with it, and they think it was so fun and funny.
It's so haunting to look back at those pictures nowadays.
Yeah,
like,
and then you're like,
God.
ooh.
Yeah.
Because those people got severe cancer after doing that. And that's why it was the 1910s and 1920s, and you don't see that around anymore, because we very quickly learned, oh my God. Took us a little while for the lead, though.
That's
I'll
true.
admit.
Lead took us a little while. Asbestos took us longer. It takes time.
And it's like, we even knew lead was dangerous, like in the 50s, but we were like, we're going to keep it around for a while longer.
Yeah, for real. I don't know.
The U.S. government hates us.
We're willing to take risks. I do legitimately think that people knew the risks of uranium by this time, but they're like, if this kills 95% of children and the other 5% wind up being nuclear scientists, is that a worthwhile trade? I feel like the government was saying yes, it is, and I don't like that. That feels uncomfortable to me.
You know, sometimes you have to make some sacrifices. It's like the unemployment rate.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right, unfortunately. All right, number 2. Toy guns.
Also,
including BB guns.
I want to preface that I don't believe that the employment rate thing is good, okay? I'm not saying that we have to have a healthy unemployment rate. I think that's stupid, okay? I'm just saying, look it up. The government wants an unemployment rate. Like, there's a number of people that they want to be unemployed.
I don't think anyone thought that was your perspective, because we were both we were both specifically in terms of like the atomic energy thing, talking about it from the perspective of the government, and then you went on the unemployment thing. I'm like, okay, this is still from the perspective of the government. I wanted to preface that. Okay?
If
anyone's listened to more than one episode of this podcast, they know that we're both very liberal people. We're very leftists.
I'm not a lib. I'm a leftist.
Liberal is the term that non-leftists used to call us.
Yeah. But anyway.
Goddamn liberals.
Just wanted to preface that, all right?
You F-slurs. No, I'm kidding.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? What were you talking about? Sorry.
Toy guns, including BB guns.
Toy guns.
We mentioned this earlier.
I got shot with those.
Yeah, it says guns. It doesn't matter if the kids are raised by registered NRA members or in strictly anti-gun households. They love playing with toy guns. Maybe it's the speed of the projectiles, the loud noises, the influence of popular TV characters, or all the above. BB and airsoft guns can take out an eye. Paintballs leave a serious bruise, and cap guns often lead to burns. There are over 200...
Cap guns!
Yeah,
that's
cap
what I'm
guns
talking
about. Oh, that's what you're talking... Okay, gotcha. I did not know what a cap gun was then. I thought I misunderstood. Yeah, cap guns. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, these do look like revivals. What the hell?
Yeah, and they would burn your fingers really bad when you tried to take them out.
Jesus Christ. They still sell them though.
They do?
Yeah, you can get a whole cap gun for $10, and you get like refills of the cartridges for like $6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe like I just knew that the one that we had was the one that my fucking like brother used in the 80s. So like we didn't have any more, and there was no more we could get just in our vicinity.
Fair.
But then again, I also grew up in a place where you could get most things not in the vicinity. You'd have to drive at least an hour before you found them.
Yeah, that happens. Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad I didn't lose an eye, because goddamn, my brother sure loved shooting me with a BB gun.
Yeah. I feel like that didn't happen as often as like people were afraid it would. But it definitely did still happen. I'm glad I got glasses early. Yeah. I definitely avoided a lot of eye injury from my glasses.
Well, I mean, I knew like uncles that had like permanent scarring on their eye because of them
toy
being hit by a
guns?
BB gun. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, damn. Okay, fair. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry for your uncles. Rest in peace.
Yeah, fuck them.
Never mind. Oh, don't feel sorry for your uncles. All right. Shall we move on to number 1?
Yeah, it's weird that guns aren't number 1, but
number 1's really disappointing to me because this should have been lower on the list. Lawn darts.
Lawn darts?
Lawn darts, otherwise known as jarts. Or yard darts, I guess is a way that you can call them. I've never heard them be called jarts. That feels like darts.
What's a yard dart?
You don't know what a yard dart is?
No.
Oh, okay. So you know what a dart that like you throw at a target like in a bar is, right?
Yes.
Imagine that like 20 times larger.
Does it have like a big needle on it? Like, is it like a stabby needle?
Some of them.
Oh.
Some of them, yeah.
And they thought that was okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so a lot of the modern ones have like soft, like big ol', like almost, like a punching bag material on the front.
The bulbous kind of weighted.
Yeah,
thing.
the bulbous weighted things. But like the original ones were just darts. They were sharp.
Oh, okay.
They were designed to land in your yard, just kind of stick into it a little bit. And the goal was to like throw them across the yard. People would often like throw them up, and then they would come back down.
Just asking for an impaling.
Yes.
Let me tell you about a game that we used to play out in the country, and so you would get a knife.
I already love this game.
What you would do is you would stand apart from each other. You'd put your legs as close as you can together. Mm-hmm. And the goal is like you would throw the knife, and it had to be within a hand's length away, or is it 2 hands or a hand? It might have been 2 hands length away from the foot. And then they would spread their legs out that much. And you'd keep doing that until one person fell over. So pretty much you were just throwing knives at your friend's foot the entire time. Because you had a maximum distance. You didn't have a minimum distance. So you just throw the knife at someone's foot. We used to play that on the fairgrounds while we were waiting between animal shows.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Y'all
were some weird kids, Trace. Come on.
I tried to explain to people how country I was, and they don't believe it. So like,
you were incredibly country. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, I have to pull out these little stories every once in a while to show people how fucked up it was.
Yeah, for real.
And like they'll be like, okay, weird. No one lost any toes.
Thankfully,
we were all pretty
that's good. Hell yeah, love it.
Like, but we had kids that were like as young as 7 playing it.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
and it'd be like
crazy.
A full ass pocket knife, like 4 or 5 inches long. The blade, yeah.
Holy
and you'd
shit.
be thrown at the ground at people's feet.
Yeet! All right.
Yep.
Damn. Well, at that note, thank you all for watching / listening. I feel like the explosive plane should have been number 1.
That should have been number 1.
Because
that are guns.
Trace, you need to find a video for this thing. I'm telling you, these things go boom. Like they were crazy. But yeah, we'll save that for after the podcast. For now, is there anything you want to say?
Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a review. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Chip chip cheerio.
Chip chip cheerio. That's our catchphrase. It always has been.
Yeah, we've always said that on every episode. Chip,
every episode. Bye.
Chip chip cheerio.